StackAly, I guess they're in the 80s and 90s. I wrote Relax, BYI. Originally from Brooklyn, live in California now, between California and Harlem. Started writing and probably messing around in 1992. And then my neighborhood was full of writers, pretty much like any neighborhood in New York. It was full of writers back then. It's more like a rite of passage, so something you did if you were a young man in New York. Too Smart was a neighbor and my mentor. He's kind of the guy that like took me under his wing and taught me how to write. And like, was like, hey, because I was just like haphazardly writing whatever, I'd just be like, and I wrote text. It was like, look, like, I really didn't have a style. Like I wasn't paying attention to, width of letters or how to use a marker or how to use paint or kerning or making a signature or a tag look nice. I just was like, I want to write on stuff, like, because I hadn't really comprehended the concept of a style in a tag and how important it was. It wasn't just that your name was there, it was a style attached to it that was also yours. And so these are one I really like. Took me under his wing and like, described that to me. Like, even with piecing it, probably my first outlines within the PS38 part. I've said it about skateboarding before, but it surpassed any socioeconomic or color lines. And it really brought, like skateboarding. I have friends that are like from the Upper East Side, from like really affluent families who I never would have met had I not written graffiti or, these parts of some of the heaviest projects I've ever seen in my life. And I probably wouldn't be lifelong friends with these people had it not been for graffiti. At least in New York, I feel that like, through the music scene and through the graf scene and through the skateboarding scene, they're all kind of, not through, but they're all really intertwined. In there, in the 70s and early 80s, you had like, New York was a graf crew. The graf crew, but they all skated. A bunch of dudes from acid riders, like Kid Panama. Like, I just used to see Kid Panama in Washington Square Park skating a board with like 4 sets of trucks on it. You see these weird Caterpillar boards, and it'd be like all tripping balls on acid. Like when kids started writing paint markers on their boards, he'd already had all his boards. He'd make custom boards and paint them. It was cool to see that, or it made it painfully obvious that like I wasn't the only one. I wouldn't attribute myself to that. Like Eli and Thor, who I think Thor's down to acid writers, Ian Fromm, who was pro for Skull Skates. There's so many cats. Kessler wrote, I forgot who Kessler wrote, but there's just a ton of dudes that wrote graf and skated in New York. They've largely seen sounds,
Flipping the script.